So, as you can see, we have my problem solving 2 map, and I do apologise for putting this big ugly sign in, but there's a lot of streamers and YouTubers using map builders maps like my maps, and they're not even saying who built the map. They're giving no credit whatsoever, and they're earning hundreds if not thousands off of these videos, and they don't even have the consideration just to even mention, hey, this map is mentioned by Lord-Spink or Dolphin Dom or Stormhawk. They just use map builders maps, make a ton of money, and they could change someone's life simply by mentioning their name. So yeah, I've had to put in this as a form of advertisement to let people know, so that certain people just don't steal maps. But yeah, anyway, shall we get on with the actual map? This is Problem Solving Mark II. And you probably may have seen Ssundee and Crainer do this, and if you haven't, if you want to actually solve this for yourself, because as it says it is a problem solving map, then don't worry about the first few minutes of the video. I'm going to basically do a rough rundown on every single problem, but not without giving away the actual trick or anything like that. And then in the end of the video, I'm going to show you how it's actually possible, just in case you do get stuck. So first half of the video is just a quick visual, second half is how to do it. So challenge 1, well, first of all, you've got these cages. You spawn inside the cages at the island start, you press start game, you spawn on these pads here, and then you can't avoid seeing the giant Lord-Spink advertisement. Code Lord-Spink in the item shop, by the way. I'm getting so many supporters. I'm so grateful. Number 1, this is the first problem, and you got to figure out how to clear this 3 wide gap. It seems impossible, but obviously it isn't. Then stage 2, you want to go into this room and you've got a giant freaking hay pit. You got to figure out how to get out of there, and I'll give you a clue. There is a very tiny clue hidden somewhere in the room that tells you how to escape. Now I won't go below because you'll see how to escape, but then you've got stage 3, as you can see there, and what you've got to do is try and figure out how to get over to stage 4. And obviously that gap, oh, I didn't even jump, but that gap is completely impossible to make with a normal jump. So you got to figure out how you can clear that gap and get over to stage 4. And then stage 4, you've got a little maze. It's a tiny little maze. Look at this thing. I've never seen this tiny of a maze on Fortnite. So you got this tiny little maze, and you've got to try and get through there. And I almost forgot. Let's do a like goal. Let's try and hit like 300 likes on this map. Problem solving Mark II. Let's do it. 300 likes. Smash like. But moving on to stage 5, we've got here, this is, so you've like gone through some weird trippy maze thing, and now you've got to escape the dark mine shaft. And basically there's invisible holes in the ground that I'm not going to show you where they are because that would be giving it away, but you've got to get over here without falling down to your death through invisible holes that you cannot see until you're right there. But once you do make it, well, that was weird, I tripped back there. You got level 6, and this is like you've escaped the mine, like dark mine, and now you've got the mine cart section, and this one's really fun. You got to do like a wall ride and clear the gap to land on this, jump over to here, over to here, over to here, and you've got stage 7. Now stage 7 is probably going to get on a lot of people's nerves, and that's what I like. Hit like if you hated this map. But basically you've got to get across to this here. But obviously it's a 2-block gap which you can't clear. So you've got to figure out how to get over to here. But I'll leave that for you to figure out. Ignore that. That's not part of the solution. You don't need to look at that. Now we're on to stage 8, and I've had to set this up with a tiny little hole because obviously this is a no cheating map. The last map was a little bit role-playy. Now if I go in here, as you can see the red beams, and I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm gonna go in it because it's so complicated you won't even know. You won't even be able to figure it out just by looking at this unless you pause it. Now number 8, you got to use the balloons to travel along these platforms to get all the way to the end, but it's kind of a maze. You've got these death barriers, and if you go towards the wrong platform, you'll instantly die and spawn back here. So you've got to figure out how to get through the maze using the balloons. And this little hole here was made so that you couldn't get back through here using the balloons and then try and go up here. And obviously there's death barriers anyway, so it wouldn't make any difference because I made it completely cheat proof, because I know how you guys like to figure out how to skip things. But basically there is one clue in this room on how to there is a clue on the path to take, but I won't show you. I'll give you a clue. Look up. You see those arrows? No, right. Let's move on. I didn't give you a clue. Just shh. Number 9. Let's move on. You've got a launch pad. Now, this one is a little bit of a skill test, and this won't actually give anything away because you'll figure it out straight away. You basically got to fly through these gaps and try and escape through the window. But you got to master getting through those gaps first, and it's very, very tricky. But once you've done that, you will end up at this checkpoint. All good, and we are on to the final stage, stage 10. Now this one, as you can see, is a death barrier maze. And I made this ages ago for Crainer, and since then a few death barrier mazes have shown up, where I know I know Scissors did one in his maze, and he used gold bushes as placement markers. So you put it here and you'd figure out where the path was. Nah. That's too easy. You can't do that. That's not problem solved. Well, his is more of a death race, so he could do that. He's allowed to do that for fast pace. But this is a problem solving course. So this is going to test your memory as well. You got to remember. That's why I've put a checkpoint about a third of the way across, just to save your memory that much more stress. So you only have to remember how to get to that first checkpoint, and then you have to remember how to get from that checkpoint to the end. But then once you get through this death barrier maze, you will end up here. You can jump. You know what, I'm just going to make it easy on myself. I'm just going to go through that. I'm not going to pretend I've got any skill. But once we are up here, you have completed the course. You can grab yourself some items and some stuff to help you fly around, get back to the beginning if you want to. And that's pretty much it. All 10 courses, all 10 stages of this problem solving course. I do hope you enjoy it. And now I'm going to show you how it's done properly. So you can pause the video here, smash like, subscribe, all that stuff, remember, and come back if you are truly stuck.